So a client of mine just contacted me and she was focused on posting content. So she reached out to me to help her rebrand, and I put her through an accelerator program. In this program, it's designed to help her focus in on her story, who she's serving, what problem do they have, and how to start having offerings that serves their problem, and also positions her in a way where she is an authority online. So we went through a 4-week accelerator where we broke down her strategy, dove into her story. I had to peel back the onion. I had to understand what has she done, what can give her some credibility. Also, we had to dive into, what is the niche that you're going to like pick, because that's important. If you don't have like a certain, world that you exist in, it's hard for people to really associate you or understand what you offer, right? So, and then we go into a micro niche, right? Because the niche is always big. Like, let's say someone likes photography. Well, then what type of photography? Oh, I like all photography. And that's kind of like where the problem starts, because, a lot of people are still in that thing of all and everything, and not understanding that it's important to become explicit. It's important to become a specialist if you want to start charging more, being known for something. It's like you can be multifaceted, but be multifaceted in multiple specifics. So let's just say, I'm not going to use her per example. I'm just going to use an example. You're a photographer, you like photography. Then it's like, okay, what type of photography? Where you're like, I like wildlife, I like events, I like portraits. And it's like, all right, well, which one brings you the most fun, the most fulfillment? And then you're like, well, portraits. And it's like, okay. Now there's different types of portraits. There's portraits for babies, portraits for adults, portraits for grandparents, portraits for graduation. What type of portraits have you done? And then we start understanding them and then figuring out what main portrait brings you the most fulfillment. Because whatever you select, if you say, hey, I'll just do portraits for babies, there's a whole world for that. There's a whole niche for that. People are wanting their babies to be photographed within the first month, right? So you could be that, or you could be within the first 6 months, the first year, whatever. There's ways to micro niche. And micro niching is important because it allows you to stand out and be that authority, right? And that's what we want you to do. Hold on, let me just make sure I'm focused. Okay, yeah, I'm focused. So just want to make sure, because sometimes this thing can act funny. So we understand that right now. We understand that, hey, we're here to micro niche, so we can put our flag down here. Like, hey, I'm a photographer that does amazing baby photography, and I do it through this system, right? And it's like people go to him. That's what differentiates him or her. It's through their specific system in which they develop these amazing baby portraits. And this system is proprietary. So other portrait baby photographers, they don't do what you do. And that's why they go to him or her, because of their proprietary method, which is called their proprietary method, which that's called a unique mechanism. So we went through all of this in the 4-week program. We broke everything down. But I noticed she was very eager to start posting content. Like, she wanted to post content. Like, she's very eager to post. And I'm like, I had to like calm her down, because I'm like, hey, listen, you're rebranding, you're coming out. That means prior to meeting me, you were ghosting. You weren't consistent online. You showed up anyhow. You was doing etc. So why are you in a rush to continue that same thing? I was trying to explain to her that there's multiple pillars to this. Right now we're dealing with the brand strategy. The next pillar is the brand identity. This is where we come up with your typography, your colors, and then we come up with your logo, right? These are the 3 basic that I give all my clients just to make sure they have a brand identity. And then we move into the brand execution, which we execute on the strategy. And this is where we understand, some KPIs, we understand some goals that we want to reach with this strategy. And we do it through video. Content Say specializes in video. We have a photographer, but our weight is mostly on video. right? So we execute the brand strategy through video, but also making sure that they show up online wherever they want to show up. If it's YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, X, etc., we make sure that you show up consistent because the execution is key. Why? Because we want to develop trust. And people trust brands that are consistent. People trust brands that are just all well-rounded. Like they can look at you and identify you. It just gives a sense of trust. The person feels like, okay, I could trust this brand. They're not just janky or they're not just going to take my money and run. People want to trust things. And being trustworthy is being executed correctly online through your brand, through your visuals, through your storytelling, through your photos, through your video, etc., through your message, right? And this message will be found, hold on, and this message will be found in the strategy, the brand strategy. This is what we spend time developing is the message is your story. And we execute your story through the videos that we create. This story is instantly going to compel the people listening or watching to follow, to be inspired, to be motivated. They're going to want to work with you eventually if they're into what you're producing, right? But the story is supposed to move them emotionally, and that's the journey. So I could see that she's rushing to produce content, and when she told me the type of content she's producing, I asked her like, well, you know, how is this serving your audience? And it's like I'm still noticing she's in that I'm producing for me phase when it's like, you don't fill your own pockets. You see what I'm saying? Like you don't fill your own pockets, and that's the thing. Like other people do, so it's important to tap into other people's problems, and start telling stories about how you once faced those problems, and this is how you can solve it. That's just direct marketing, as I told you in episode 1, is about turning into a marketer. These things just would never change. Like none of this stuff will ever change. There's always going to be a person who has a problem, and they're going to get the solution through a story. I see all the time people try to exchange facts through video, and facts does not exchange through video. It may exchange through carousels, stagnant infographics, but it definitely doesn't translate through video. Through video, a person is watching to be stimulated, and they want to be stimulated in a way which intrigues them. So like right now, I'm telling you a story about a client of mine. And that's how you're able to get the epiphany if you're listening to become a client of Content Sage, or if you're listening to just build your own personal brand. It's like this story I'm telling you is going to give you some insight, but I'm not directly telling you, hey, get a brand story. Hey, it's just not, I'm telling you through story because it's my actual experience and it's my actual client. So in that space, we're now in the brand identity phase, but I don't feel like she's aware. And what I mean by that is like I've explained to her like, hey, we're doing your brand strategy, then you're gonna have to move into your brand identity, which is just these 3 things called your typography, your logo, and your colors. Just some 3 primary colors that represent you. So when you show up online, you're consistent. Even the photo shoot, even the colors that I use in the video is consistent to it. And, you just have a consistently branded presence. And then we move into the brand execution where we start executing who you are, what you're doing through video. And that's my favorite part. Besides the brand strategy, I love the brand strategy. The brand identity, obviously I have Brianna for that. She does the brand identity for all my clients. And then we move it into the brand execution. And this is where we figure out where you're mostly going to be dominant at, right? So like, where are you mostly, check, okay. Where are you mostly going to show up, right? Once we figure that out, like, okay, you'll mostly show up here, then we go ahead and create the content for that channel, leverage that. And most likely since it's video, that video could be repurposed everywhere. Even LinkedIn currently right now is optimizing for video. So we can have this everywhere and be seen everywhere. And that's how we can start building you up, optimizing you in the market, having a strong message with an impactful story, this will not only connect to the audience emotionally, but then this will also make them want to find out more, right? And then on top of all of that we do with the brand strategy, the brand identity, and the brand execution, we also figure out how you can start generating sales, right? Because it's about monetizing. You want to be able to monetize your personal brand. Either if you have this a success already, like most of my clients, they have the offline success, they just looking to turn it like online, or you want to start generating clients through what you can do for them, then that's another one, right? So there's two avenues in this personal branding aspect. It's like you can have offerings because you've already had the proof in the pudding, you're already successful offline, and now you want to establish this online presence to start selling, maybe if it's a course or a membership, just start selling one-on-ones, just ways that people can get like you or be empowered the way you were empowered through your journey. Then you got those who have services, like, you could be a creative in the sense of you're a creative director, you're a photographer, you're a videographer, whatever, and you want to leverage your personal brand to start getting clients to buy into why they should work with you in this specific way because you deliver specific things, right? So this is like the two ways that it goes. My main clients that I'm focusing on now is the successful offline clients. Like majority of my clients right now, they have businesses offline. They've generated 6, 7 figures, and they're seeing that the internet is just taking off. And they currently have a presence, but they're most likely private. You can't see their posts. They're inconsistent. They post random stuff in their stories. Their bio is just not optimized. And the photo they're using is very and the photos that they're using is very casual. It's like something you post chilling, right? So they have no online presence, but they have success offline. So it's like they understand the power of personal brands right now. They understand the power of having an audience. They understand the power of monetizing an audience, right? They understand the power of additional revenue streams, especially online, digitally. They understand the power of community. They understand this, but they don't know how to go about it. And that's where Content Sage comes in. We come in to help you develop all of that and start leading your way so you can start going off and excelling like you've already done offline, just now online. And you can have the hybrid model where you're offline and online, but at least you have an online presence. You're branded effectively and your message is strong, your story is impactful, and your offerings are there. Your website, your sales page is there, and people are able to join your membership, buy your course, download your ebook, get your, so many offerings here, which will also turn into additional revenue. So that's the sequence of events. I just wanted to tell that story because the fact that she was going through that proves to me that there's this rush to post, and I get it because posting is important. Like right now, Icon Living Podcast, I dedicated myself to 100 episodes, 100 of these beautiful episodes where I try my best to find the location, set up the camera, set everything up to record, right? This setup is simple, not simple, but it's not intricate. It's very simple, but I'm able to record. I have my mic here. I'm outside, as you can see. And I got my camera set up and I have my notes that I'm gonna take that I'm speaking about today. And I'm shooting for it. I got 100 episodes. And in these 100 episodes, there's going to be some that are rough. There's going to be some that the audio may be off, the angle may be off, etc. But that's the point. The point is to just create as long as you're in focus, you're in brand. So I'm not creating anything random. You're not hearing me talk about turtles, fishing, why plants grow upwards. You're not hearing anything outside of personal branding with me. And I'm also micro niching to my successful entrepreneurs offline and one-off creatives here and there who are attracted to my message, right? But everyone who's attracted to me, they're most likely thought leaders. They're people who speak with their voice. They have something to share to the people. So that's why I'm producing content, is because I have a focus, but I want to have fun with it. So I'm doing it in multiple variations, multiple ways. But I chose 100 episodes because I would like to find my voice in this podcast. I also like to feel what it's like to have something of 100 episodes online dedicated to personal branding. I feel like that itself is inspiring for me and for, my mentees or people that I'm working with, right? With Content Sage, it's like I could show them proof, like, hey, I have 100 episodes and this didn't take off to episode 48, right? Episode 48 got 10 million views. And then from there, the audience just grew and people go back and binge watch me. So even as I said that, I felt it. So that means it's definitely something special. And I know that's coming where these early episodes will be binge watched and they were like, oh yeah, I remember when he was just chilling, talking off camera, giving us some insight into personal brands. And now look at him now, like he's in a whole nother league doing the same thing on bigger platforms, right? So it's just something I wanted to share because it's possible. And I just wanted to share that story because you may be on your journey of just wanting to post random stuff. And I'm just sharing with you that I'd rather you post things that's in alignment from being branded effectively. If you're focused on a personal brand, if you're just a random creator, then create whatever you want. But if you're coming into the lane of branding yourself, developing your story, having a message to share, then it's important that whatever you do, if it's education, if it's entertainment, if it's motivation, if it's inspiration, whatever it is tied back to your message, it's tied back to your story, and it's gathering and fostering emotions so people can follow, be a part of your community, and invest in you because you're investing in them. So just be mindful that it's not about you. You don't fill your pockets, right? The people you're serving do. And the better you're at serving, the better you'll be served. All right. So that's the message for today. It's not a long episode. Just wanted to tap in with that just so you're aware of what's going on in this sense of personal branding. It's a journey, but you have to be willing to, be diligent and just go for it, but go for it within alignment. And you will feel it. You will see it. You will see the development. You will see the growth. And I'm a living testimony of that. And I'm gonna continue to be one because it's one of those journeys. To me, till this day, a personal brand is still one of the heaviest rocks to lift. Okay, you can go ahead and start a brand tomorrow. I could start a brand of these mics tomorrow, and it'll go off. I could start a brand of something, drop shipping, whatever. It'll go off. But a personal brand, it's a heavy rock to carry, and that's why you need experts and professionals like myself and my team to assist you in carrying this rock so you're effective till you are able to carry it on your own and go crazy and be backed by big brands, big budgets. You hear me? So it's on the way. Just stay tuned, stay focused. All right? It's King O. I'm out of here. Peace.